Hello, Pastel Ninja K. How you guys doing? Just making sure I got everything working on this end. I'll be with you in a minute. David, hello, welcome. Pastel Ninja K says he doesn't want to be a Hamlin fan this week. Almost ready, almost. Just give me one more second. Any second now, if this would work. Jamie, hello, welcome. Okay, alright, sorry. Here we go. Okay. Monday night. Camera. There we go. That's a little bit better. Meh. Anywho, well, yes, David. It was somewhat crazy. It wasn't crazy in the terms of like, when we see like a bunch of wrecks or a bunch of crazy cautions, wacky results. We just had a lot going on. You know, obviously the Ty Gibbs Denny Hamlin thing is really taking the headlines because of how that went down. I think if there wasn't all that radio communication and there was just that incident, I don't think it's blown up as much as it is. But with Ty Gibbs initially getting on and saying like game on, or what did he say, like screw these guys, whatever he said, with him getting on and saying that, and then everything Denny said afterwards in terms of the, what did he say? Denny said, like, are they scared to talk to this guy? Does he know we're racing for a championship and all that? Like, that's really what's kind of blown this up, and that's why it's been like the main talking point of the entire race weekend. So, yeah, it's not pretty. It's, you never want to see teammate conflict or internal conflict within an organization or a team. And we've seen it before with other organizations. We've seen it with Hendrick recently. I remember in 2022, Larson and Elliott had a couple of run-ins. Nothing blew up publicly. There were some things said on the radio, but it was like nothing bad. It was like heat of the moment. Elliott called him an idiot. It was two instances, and they got over it pretty quickly. Like nothing more happened out of it. And also, both instances, they were fighting for the win at Auto Club in Watkins Glen. I'm trying to think of other. Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, they had their run-ins. I'm trying to think of some others, but anywho, point being is that like it is a little bit of an awkward situation because Denny Hamlin's fighting for a championship. Denny Hamlin has 5 wins this year. Ty Gibbs has yet to win in his career. He's out of the playoffs. He's had a really rough season. And it's for 12th place, and they're fighting like or Ty Gibbs is fighting like it's the last lap. Now, once again, I don't think anyone should have to pull over because my teammate's in the playoffs. I'm just gonna pull over and let him by, and just okay, I got to finish second to my teammate, or my teammate, if he's got a yellow banner on his car, like I'm just gonna pull out of the way, slow down, and just like no, I don't think we should do that. That's ridiculous. That's lame. But I understand the frustration, I guess. Like, you're fighting for 12th place. Why are you fighting so hard, and especially so early in the race? But it's quite the complicated situation for Team. I was about to say Team Penske. I saw a comment that said Penske for Joe Gibbs Racing. Pastel Ninja K says I put the blame on Denny, although Gibbs was driving like a bad word. Yeah, I mean, Denny spun him out. Denny ultimately is the one that escalated it to I guess you could argue that Gibbs was driving aggressively, but Denny's the one that started destroying things, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So, whether it was an accident or not, or I think Denny Hamlin said that he was just trying to move him up the track, push him up a little bit, just disturb him. I don't think he meant to spin him out and destroy his day, destroy his team owner's car, but at the end of the day, that's what happened. Ty Gibbs can wreck a teammate who was racing for a win in a championship 4 spot, but what Hamlin did to Gibbs yesterday is all bad. Not going to lie, those silver spoon jokes are kind of accurate, says Micah. I saw, obviously, a lot of people have been referencing the 2020, was that 2022? I think that was 2022, when Ty Gibbs, who was already locked into the championship 4, was running second to his teammate Brandon Jones at Martinsville. Jones had to win at Martinsville in order to make the championship 4. And on the last lap, Ty Gibbs didn't just move him for the win. He didn't just pass him for the win. He wrecked him. He sent him into the wall. Like what Elliott did to what Hamlin did to Elliott back in 2017. That's what Ty Gibbs did to his teammate who had to win to make the Final Four. So I saw a lot of people referencing that. Obviously, that was 3 years ago, basically. That was the Xfinity Series. I would think Ty Gibbs has learned a lot since then, that he's matured since then. So referencing that, once again, I understand why people are referencing that, but at the same time, like, how relevant is it? Like, if that was the last year in the Cup Series, like if Denny Hamlin had to win to make the Final Four and Ty Gibbs wrecked him to get his first Cup win, then yeah, that would be a relevant topic today. But Xfinity Series, less maturity, 3 years ago, I just think it's a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, there's been a lot of talk on the internet and whatnot about Ty Gibbs and his spot at Joe Gibbs Racing. Of course, Joe Gibbs Racing, top-tier equipment. The expectation for all 4 cars is to make deep playoff runs, to win races, and Ty Gibbs hasn't done that. It's like statistically accurate. He's yet to win a Cup race. He's missed the playoffs this year. It's his 3rd year. He's a really good driver. Like, he's shown it before. He's shown it at times this year, like Mexico City, he's competing for the win with Shane Van Gisbergen. Was up there contending for the win at Michigan. Like, he's shown it. He has that ability. He's shown it in the Xfinity Series, but he just hasn't been able to put it all together yet and have a solid season and to have a win yet. So it's a lot of pressure on him. It's a lot around him. There's always going to be noise around him, even if he figures it out and in 3 years he has 10 wins. Like, he goes and wins his first race next year, picks up a couple more, and then he has this breakout season where he wins 4 or 5. Like, there's always going to be noise around him because he drives for Joe Gibbs. He's Joe Gibbs' grandson. It's always going to be a topic of debate. It doesn't matter if he's doing what he's doing right now, which is not very good, because on that end, people are going to say, does Ty Gibbs really deserve his ride? Blah, blah, blah. He's the grandson. Of course he has a ride. But if Ty Gibbs figures it out and starts doing good and wins a bunch of races, the conspiracy theories on the other end are going to come in. Are they rigging it for Ty Gibbs? Like, are they showing favoritism? It's always going to be, no matter what Ty Gibbs does, there's going to be a portion of people in the fan base saying something negative about him. So, Ty Gibbs, just keep your head down, keep doing what you're doing, keep improving, make that step forward, get that first win, get that monkey off your back, and hey, we'll see what he can do. So, Jamie says Team Penske is squeaky clean, no teammates fighting. Yeah, no, it's Team Penske really is kind of the banner team for how teammates treat each other. I know that Logano and Keselowski had their run-ins over the years, but in recent years with the trio of Blaney, Logano, and Cindric, there's really never been a foot wrong, put wrong. So they really know what they're doing. Obviously, they win the race yesterday, but when you look at how Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano race each other for the lead, Josh Berry's basically a teammate the way that he raced Blaney for the lead there late. We've seen Cindric and Blaney race for the win at Gateway before. We've seen Logano, Cindric, Blaney all race for the wins at super speedways. Like, they're extremely respectful. And outside of just racing for the wins, they're always respectful to each other in terms of racing. And then obviously Logano and Blaney, their big one was last year at Phoenix for the championship. Blaney didn't wreck Logano. He didn't move Logano. Like, the Team Penske teammates have it figured out in how to win races, how to make the playoffs, how to make deep runs, and how to treat each other when it comes to racing each other, being professional, everything like that. So, as Jamie said, they're squeaky clean. Hello, TP. In between the lanes. Hello there. How are you? Yeah, Micah, exactly. Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano are a prime example of how teammates should race each other with respect. Exactly. That's exactly how you should say it. Don't really need to say more. Don't need to say less. That's like the perfect way to say it. I don't know, David. I don't know if it's jealousy. I mean, maybe he is upset that he's not in the playoffs. I don't know, but who's he going to be upset at? Like, he has the resources. I don't know. Maybe it's just a year of frustration, just boiled over. I don't know. Pastel Ninja K says Ryan Blaney will win the championship, not Logano, because it's an odd year. I've done my best to avoid this topic this year because we do it every single year. Someone wins a race early in the year. Someone wins 2 out of the first 5 races, and we're like, oh, they're the championship favorite. Well, then someone else goes on a streak. Oh, they're the championship favorite. Then someone's hot over the summer. Oh, they're the championship favorite. And then none of them win the championship because we're in the wackiest format ever. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the way things line up for Ryan Blaney, he's got a great shot at it because you look at this round of 8, Talladega, he's probably the best super speedway racer in the next gen car. He's got a great shot at winning that. He's won the last 2 Martinsville Fall races. He's got decent Vegas numbers, so even if he doesn't win one of those 3, he could very well point his way in. He just added some playoff points to his name, so Ryan Blaney, if he gets to Phoenix, he'll be the favorite for that championship. He's still yet to win at that track, ironically enough, but statistically, Phoenix might be his best track. So, yeah, it's really looking like a Ryan Blaney year. And also, you know, you look at his 23 stats. His 23 stats, if we're being brutally honest, they were not that, like, mind-blowing. They weren't that explosive. Like, they weren't like, oh, my God, this guy just killed everyone. I think he won 4 races, 11 or 12 top 5s, 15 top 10s. Like, it was a solid year, but it wasn't like a huge, mind-blowing championship like what Larson did in 2021. Maybe that's too extreme of an example, but like what Truex did in 2017 when he had 7 wins, when he had 18 top 5s, 25 top 10s. Like, once again, that might be too extreme too, but the point being, this year, Blaney has those stats. And what's mind-blowing about it all is Blaney, if it wasn't for these 7 DNFs, Ryan Blaney, these numbers would have been so much more inflated. Like, you got to think about it. Homestead blows an engine after dominating that race. That could have been another win. Add another win, add another top 5, add another top 10. Where else is it? Well, we can just go to his stat profile. But he's got tied for the most top 10s in the league. He's got the most top 5s in the league. Statistically, he's been the best driver this year, I would say, because we've never had one guy really break away and be like the best this year, but Ryan Blaney's kind of emerging as that guy. Let's go find his DNFs here. Phoenix, I think he was involved in a wreck. Vegas, I think he scored some stage points. I want to say he led some laps in that one. So, hey, there's one. And not necessarily a win, but we could add to his top 5 or top 10 margin. Homestead, we already referenced. Talladega, I mean, we can't really justify that one. Charlotte, I think he wrecked really early. Michigan, what happened at Michigan with Blaney? I don't remember. Atlanta, obviously, he was in that giant wreck. He's really good at Atlanta. They lead a lot of laps there up front. Team Penske is. Sonoma, he was involved with that Busher crash. He could have had another top 10 there. So, yeah, I mean, really, and since that Sonoma wreck, I mean, look at these results. Since Sonoma, Blaney's only had 1 finish in the double digits. This is insane. Dover, 8th, 7, 4, 6, 3, win, 18, 4, 4, 1. I think it's safe to say he's the hottest driver in NASCAR right now. But back to his general statistics. I mean, most top fives, tied for the most top tens. Laps led, he's up there for sure. He's got more than Denny by 1. He's only behind, it looks like, Larson and Byron, unless there's no way that those road course laps aren't a lot. So, I think you can make an argument for Blaney being the best this year. I see Micah said Hamlin. I think you can make that argument as well. 1 less top 5, 2 less top 10s, but he has 2 more wins. Laps led are essentially equal. If we look at the stage wins, do they have that on here? Or no, they don't? Great. Okay. I'll look it up on my phone. Stage wins, Denny versus Blaney, 11 versus 12. Blaney has 8 stage wins. Hamlin has 4. So, yeah, I mean, really, if it wasn't for those DNFs, like Blaney, I feel like would just be far and away the best. And statistically, he kind of is, even with all those DNFs. So, I don't know. Kind of went on a little side tangent there, but TP says a lot of great things came out of New Hampshire, if not so great. Ouch, no one needs that. SVG, great. LOL, Brad, moment. They both in the know. Sad SVG couldn't bounce on competitively. Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen, I mean, what in the world? Like, started 10th, like his best qualifying effort on an oval. It was bound to happen that he was going to qualify in the top 10. But then, like, drives up to the top 6 in, like, the first 5 laps. Stays up there, gets up to 5th. He was on pace. He was going to finish in the top 5 in the stage if it wasn't for that late stage caution. He was having a fantastic day, and then Brad Keselowski remembered his 2014 self and tried to fill a gap that wasn't there. So SVG's knocking on the door in terms of that top 10, that first oval top 10 in his Cup career. Obviously, he's not gotten it yet. We'll see. Kansas is going to be interesting because he did pretty good there in the spring. Remember the spring, Trackhouse had no speed. They qualified in the 30s every week, and it really took him to get going. And SVG still finished in the top 20 in that race. I think he finished like 18th maybe. I want to say. I think he finished 18th. Maybe it was 20th flat. Yeah, it was a 20 flat. He finished 20th. Like, that was a really good weekend back in April or May. Was it May or April? May or April. So they're going to qualify better than this, I'm willing to bet. Maybe it could be Kansas. Maybe it's till Talladega. Maybe it's till next year. It's possible. But anywho, yeah, he's had a really good day yesterday. The finish wasn't there because Brad Keselowski had other ideas. Hello, Sean. Sean says, I have a question. Oh, excuse me, Sean. Sean says, I have a question. As an Aussie and new to this, I do not understand that Chase Elliott is popular. Do you think you can explain it? To me, he is so bland and says nothing interesting in interviews at all. Just nothing about him. Sean, it's a number of factors. He is the son of Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott won the 1989, I believe, was the year that he won the NASCAR Cup Series championship. Bill Elliott won a bunch of most popular drivers back in the 80s and 90s. And then also it helps that Elliott drives for Hendrick Motorsports, which is arguably the biggest team in NASCAR. It's one of the most popular teams in NASCAR. And then on top of that, Chase Elliott replaced Jeff Gordon. And then once Dale Jr. retired, he's won every single most popular driver award. So it's a number of factors. Just family ties, replaced Jeff Gordon, drives for Hendrick. It's just a mix of things. So, yeah. But people seem to like him. He gets a lot of cheers at the racetrack. I think that's safe to say. Micah says Denny Hamlin has been the best driver this year. In between the lanes says Brad was swinging for the fences. Jamie asks, how many laps did you choose in your championship bracket? How many laps led did you choose in your championship bracket? Okay, so there was a tiebreaker pick when you made your bracket. So when you made your bracket on the bracket challenge, the tiebreaker was you had to pick how many laps the champion's going to lead. 307. I said 307. I think because I picked Elliott, the majority of that I was banking on Martinsville. He'd win Martinsville, lead 180 something laps or 200 and something laps, because I don't think Elliott's led much in these playoffs. I know he led at Darlington because of the pit cycle. In fact, let's get the racing reference going up here. You can't see it, but Chase Elliott. Speaking of, we just talked about, the most popular driver. He's only led 400 laps this year. Only 31 off of last year, though, so he's looking like he's going to beat that number unless he just doesn't do anything the rest of the year. Chase Elliott in these playoffs has led 15 laps. So I need him to get 292 more laps led and win the championship to be like just perfect on the bracket. So, yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. My bracket's not looking too terrible yet. It's somewhere over there. Bowman's the only one I lost in the round of 8. So, yeah, we'll see. Overlooking Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe has the second most, or I guess fourth most if we want to add up all the 17s. Fourth most top 10s. He's got tied for the second most top 5s, couple of wins. 789 laps led, which has got to be good for third. Yeah, that's third on the laps led list. 18 playoff points. He's probably won 5 stages if I had to guess the number. 5. Wow. I should have stuck with 5 on the first one. Anywho. He was really hot there at the beginning of the playoffs when he dominated the Southern 500, finished runner-up at Gateway, led a bunch of laps at Bristol, but then they didn't really do anything special this week. Finished 10th. He led 19 laps, but that was through a strategy call. They were just kind of off, I would say, by the last few weeks standard. But still, a solid day, solid points day. They're still 12 above the cut, I think. So they're going to have to do a little bit more at Kansas than the Roval, but hey, they've done good on the road courses this year, so I think that's going to be a big day for them. Looks like Lindsay says it looks like the 22 is coming around 3 top 5s in a row. Really? Are you for real? Wow. You weren't kidding. Gateway, obviously. New Hampshire, we could have seen coming. But Bristol's kind of a surprise. They've really struggled at Bristol in next gen. So, that's a big one for them. They've really picked it up, as we should have expected in these playoffs. But it's an odd year. We'll see if Logano can break that curse. The odd year curse. Can't believe that's a thing. Anywho. Okay, sure, Jamie. Jamie wants to do a poll. Which Hendrick driver gets eliminated next? I'm going to go numerical order. So Larson, Elliott, Byron. And vote. Did that submit? Ooh, it did submit. Well, that's exciting. I always love when things work on the first effort. In between the lanes says paint schemes. Paint schemes from New Hampshire. Let's see here. Not the Raptor. Ugh. Normal. The Kubota one's nice. It's orange. I like orange. Normal. They had like a red, white, and blue scheme or something. I thought that was neat. I I don't even remember what Priest's car looked like. Normal. The 4 car was green. Don't remember what it was, though. I like the Auto Trader. I like the orange Auto Trader better than the blue Auto Trader, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't know why, but I do. Don't remember. Don't remember. Don't remember. Sirius XM1 it's all right. They had a colorful paint scheme. The Red Sox scheme is kind of cool. I'll admit it. I'm not a Red Sox fan, but it's kind of cool. It's really cool to see some other sports sponsor cars. So Boston Red Sox car sponsoring at New Hampshire. Pretty cool. Custer, he had his normal one. Stenhouse, I don't know. McDonald's one, don't remember. Morgan and Morgan, we've seen that one. Don't remember. It's just the basic jockey, the dude sitting in underwear. I mean, outside of, like, it's creative, and, like, the first few times, it was like, oh, that's funny, that's clever, but it's like, I want to see a little bit more out of it. Next week, they run the Red Bull car, though. Don't remember. Normal. So, I hope that helps in between the lanes. If not, I apologize. Probably wasn't too helpful there, but hey, somewhat tried. How many laps did Logano lead in the playoffs? Okay, sure. Racing reference. You said Logano, right? Logano. Of course, it was Jamie asking. I should have known it was Logano. Oh, look. Joey Logano's in my recently searched. It's loading, Jamie. How many laps has Joey Logano led in the playoffs? So he's led 541 on the season. It's a good chunk. It's probably, let me do a quick back. That's more laps. That's over 100 laps more than he led last year. And last year was a championship year for him. This format. Anywho, how many laps has Joey Logano led in these playoffs? Let's do some math here. 147 plus 7 is 154. 154 plus 2 is 156. 156 plus 0 is 156. 156 laps is your number, Jamie. Joey Logano has led 156 laps in the playoffs. There you go. Micah, it's an odd year. I won't believe it till I see it. It's an odd year. You got to prove me wrong. If he makes that Final Four, then I'm probably going to pick him because it's Phoenix and it's Joey Logano. But until he breaks through in the odd year, I won't believe it. Oh, you're right, Pastel Ninja K. The Jackman and front tire changer will be suspended for Kansas and Roval because they deferred the penalties. So that's a big deal. Obviously, Denny, he is plus 27, which is, it's solid, but there's still 2 races to go. Obviously, Kansas is a really good track for them, so I think they'll be able to, if they can just have a solid, normal, average day by their standards, the top 5, they might even, maybe not lock, but they'll have like a Bubba situation heading into Bristol where they're plus 50, plus 60, and they're essentially locked in. But yeah, that is a storyline. So thank you for reminding me of that. We'll focus on that a little bit more, looking at Kansas. Sean says thanks. Makes more sense, but also doesn't say much about him, just things around him. But I can see why people are like that. Cheers. Well, thank you, Sean. I think I tried my best. Did SVG score more points in this round than the whole first round? I don't think so, because he scored probably 1 point for finishing 32nd and 4 points from the stages. And he finished in the mid-20s at Darlington, which is like 8 points. So I'm willing to bet no, but we can check real quick. Driver stats. So this is the points tab over here. So he scored no. God almighty, only 28 points in that first round. That's rough. I think he's going to score more than 28 in the first stage at the Roval. That's statistically impossible, but it's just emphasizing the point on the road courses. So, yeah, he scored less than he did in 2 of those races, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, let's talk about trucks. So, Corey Heim, I got some breaking news for you guys. Corey Heim is good at driving the Nash trucks. I'm gonna pull this tab over here when I find it. But Corey Heim. So, I guess the better question would be how many laps have been run in trucks this year, because I want a percentage. But Corey Heim himself has ran 3,418 laps. I want you to look at the laps led category. So that's how many laps Corey Heim has run. That's how many laps Corey Heim has led. He has led 40, if I had to estimate 40 something percent, let's throw it at 43%. Let me get the old calculator up here. 1436 divided by 3418 equals 42%. Corey Heim has led 42% of the laps that he has run in the Truck Series this year. I am no statistical expert, but I think that's good. If he does not win the championship this year, what do we even say? Like, I'm not even kidding. What do we say? Usually it's like someone dominates the season. They have a really good season. They lose the championship, and we're like, wow, that really sucks for them. They kind of got screwed. But then we look at the guy who wins it. We're like, all right, you played the format right. Really good job. Yeah. Corey Heim has led 42% of the laps he's run. He's won almost half of the races. And it's not like he front-loaded. Like he won 9 of the first 10 races and then it's just fallen off a cliff. He's won in the regular season. He's won in the playoffs. If he just simply loses Phoenix because, I don't know, Lane Riggs is better, because Tyler Ankrum is better, what do we say? I don't know, man. That will be... If Corey Heim loses the Truck Series Championship, it will be ranting time here on the channel. It really will be. Micah says, yesterday was the most laps Logano led in a race since the 2022 championship race at Phoenix, where he led 188 laps. I would believe that. Because at Texas, when he won at Texas, he didn't lead a lot. And when you look at a bunch of other races he's led, super speedways, Talladega, Daytona, Atlanta, trying to think where else he's led this year. So we got Talladega, Atlanta, Daytona, Texas. He didn't lead a lot, but he won the race. He led a ton of laps at New Hampshire. I just had his racing reference profile up here. Let's do that. Okay, I got it back. That was easy. So, oops, I accidentally pulled up Chase Elliott. That's awkward. That's not what I wanted. Give me a second, guys. I'm going back to racing reference. So Logano led 43 laps in the Daytona 500. He led 83 at Atlanta. He led 81 laps at Phoenix in the spring. I just straight up don't remember that. Wow. He led 40 at Vegas. I don't remember that either. 13 at Martinsville. That's such a small number for Martinsville. 24 at Talladega. As I said, super speedways. He only led 7. In that win at Texas, he only led 7 laps. Led a single lap at Kansas. Led 10 at Nashville. 5 at Pocono. 51 at Atlanta. Once again, super speedway. 27 at Daytona. Super speedway. And then 2 at Gateway, 7 at Bristol, 147 at Loudon. So outside of the super speedways, it was Loudon and Phoenix. Like, let's see here. I got to do more math here. 43 plus 83 is 126. 126 plus 24 is 150. 150 plus 51 is 201. 201 plus 27 is 228. So 228 of his 541 laps have come from the super speedways. I think that is of note. Then you had the 147 from New Hampshire, and that's the majority of them. Denny has a lot going on. He's got the teammate conflict. He's got the pit crew member suspended, but if he survives this round, he gets him back for the round of 8. But he's also got the lawsuit on the back of his head, so he's got a lot going on. No, Lindsay, I'm with you. So Lindsay says, I must be the only one who thinks that Gibbs is getting too much heat thrown at him. We want people to race playoff drivers hard until they race them hard. Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's racing hard, and, Gibbs never wrecked him. He never put him in the fence, but at the same time, I guess it was for 12th, but I don't know, man. It's a bit much. Imagine if Zilich and Heim both lose the championship. Well, guess what? It's possible. Thank you, playoff format. Now, I will flip the argument on the Zilich one, and I will say that Zilich and Allgaier did finish within 20 points of the regular season championship. If you want to go down a rabbit hole, you could argue, Zilich, did he really deserve the points for the Daytona thing? If you really want to get into that, I don't, but some people might. So you could, I feel like while it's a small argument, there could be a small argument against Zilich. Like if Justin Allgaier top 5s the rest of the season, but doesn't win any more races and wins the championship, I would say Allgaier is a deserving champion. Whereas Heim, there is literally zero circumstance for Corey Heim to not be the deserving champion. Like, it's crazy. Like, if we had a season-long format, Corey Heim would have clinched. I won't say it with, certainty, but I'm pretty confident that Corey Heim has already clinched the championship if it was season-long. He probably would have clinched it at, the regular season finale. Maybe that's too extreme, but you get my point for the most part. Denver says, I just got news that SA, I'm assuming that South Australian Motorsport Board and Supercars in talks with NASCAR bringing a race to Adelaide. Hey, I'm all for it. We'll see. I haven't checked any of the Australian motorsport websites in a while. Let me do a quick glance here. Something about Adelaide, something about Piastri. Matt Stone Racing. Matt Stone, the South Park rider? No way. I'm kidding. I know it's a different Matt Stone. And if it's not, then that's news to me. Something I don't know, something I don't know, something I don't know, something I don't know. Okay, let's go to the other one. Supercars. I guess it's a Supercars website, but here we go, NASCAR. But it's about SVG, so not quite. But no, if NASCAR goes to Australia, I'm all for NASCAR going to go to a foreign race. Obviously, there were a lot of logistical issues with Mexico and how Mexico went down. That was a scheduling issue. We went from Mexico to Michigan to Mexico to Pocono. That was not good planning, if we're being real. We need an off week on one of those ends. Heck, maybe both of those ends we needed it. and make it a little bit more reasonable. Like, let's go Texas, Mexico, COTA. Huh? That's not bad, I think. So yeah, that's not ideal. Australia, though, is not just like a day and a half drive. That is the other side of the planet. That's the other side of the Pacific Ocean. The logistics for that. We're gonna just to be safe. Let's play it safe. We're gonna need to carve out a month. So, right, what's today? The 23rd, 22nd, September 22nd. If we're doing this in September, the last race in September for the Cup Series would be the Southern 500 on Labor Day weekend. 2 weeks later, you do the Australia race, and then you take 2 weeks off to get everything home on the flip end. That's how I think you got to do it. Or you do like a 1 year thing where you hype it up. You give like 2 or 3 years of preparation so you can hype it up. You can sell out the place, and you do it during the off season. Like, I know that Adelaide is in late November, correct me if I'm wrong, for the supercar. So if you wanted to do a supercars thing, like, you just, as soon as the championship's over, everyone get ready to go to Adelaide, and we're going to do a one-off. And I don't know if you can force the teams to do that, but hey, why not? Or January. I know that's summer down there, and that could get really hot maybe, but it's the only time that really fits where we have like a full month to kind of get things going. Or we could just call up F1 and ask them what they do, because they seem to pop around the globe pretty easily, but they also have like money flying out of their ears and stuff. So let's look at fantasy. So fantasy. Here's my lineup. Thankfully, I was able to switch Bubba into my garage, but outside of that, that was a whiff. Josh Berry, that worked out well for me. Briscoe, solid. Reddick, he got a couple stage points. Outside of that, oof. Blaney, great call. Logano, great call. So the Penske guys, great call. The other two, Briscoe, not bad, and then Reddick, that was bad. Bubba, that was really bad. Nailed this pick. Ooh, easy. Missed this, so that sucks. But hey, got that one. Anyways, let's go to the race results of the Fantasy League. Hell on Wheels 24. Our New Hampshire winner. Congratulations to you. Matt Smith 53, Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, a tie for second place. That's exciting. David Jerry 24 fan with the top 5. Zerkman 95. Then we got expat _ Kiwi _ Mike _ Wallace. I swear, Mike has scored a top, like a 6th place finish like the last 3 races, I swear. Then we got Oscar Dave, Micah MLB 15, RT Racing, Aussie Matt is the top 10. Come over here to the league standings. I somehow moved up a spot. How did I move up a spot? What? So I had a 6-race top 10 streak, did not move up a single spot in the standings. Won a race and didn't even move up a spot, I think, or only moved up 1. I finished 13th this week and moved up a spot. Okay, cool, whatever. Look at this. We have what I would declare now a heavy championship favorite in Dunkin' Donuts. Has almost pulled a 200-point lead. Dunkin' Donuts trying to become the second ever champion in the history of this league. I'm going to come up with a more fun league name next year. I will. I might even put it to a vote at some point. And it's got to be appropriate, you know. But Dunkin' Donuts looking like a heavy championship favorite right now. But things can change. Things can change. One bad race is all it takes. Klaus Van Gissenbergen solidly in second. Zerkman 95 on the podium for the championship. Expat _ Kiwi _ Mike _ Wallace. Then we got Dan the Jets fan, our defending champion. It is not looking good for a back-to-back. RT Racing, Aussie Matt Smith 53, Tyler Hernandez 6. Fantastic Priest has kind of faded the last couple of weeks, down here in 10th place. Micah MLB 15. I'm in 12th. How many points am I out of the top 10? A lot. Like over 200. That's probably not going to happen. Zero Apex, Hell on Wheels 24, Oscar Dave, Crackler, Dr. Zero, Jamie, lifelong Logano fan, David Jerry 24 fan, Knee, Sportswagen, Tritech, Supercar Nut, Space Wrangler Racing, Premexel, JTF 526, Rebutted, Connor W, and these people who have not filled out their entries. Still, it's week, what are we on, week 30? Week 29, week 28. So we got Kansas, Roval, plus 3, plus 1. We got 6, right? So we've done 31, I think. Come on, guys. Come on. So there we go. There's fantasy. Oh, my, look. My overall rank out of everyone that plays NASCAR fantasy, 68,000. Man, I suck. Oh, man. Micah says, I led the whole freaking race until I fell down to 8th at the end of the race. What cost you? What was your team? Reddick was your garage. Denny lost 7 or 8 spots at the end. It only ended up being a 14-point difference between you and the winner. So Denny losing those spots at the end hurt you. That's really it. You drained some, you lost some there. And I guess everyone else just made up spots. Like, I'm sure a bunch of people, but you had Bell too. So I guess just Denny bleeding those spots and other people making up spots. Like, let's see what Hell on Wheels 24 was. I'm sure Josh Berry making up those spots at the end, that was a huge thing for him. Matt Smith 53. He had Hamlin in there. Dunkin' Donuts. Or maybe the picks. I didn't even look at your picks. If you missed the picks, I'm sure that hurt you. Yeah, yep, that's what hurt you. Or no, you went 2 and 2. Miss, hit. So, I don't know. Denver, I still plan on watching the Bathurst 1000 in Adelaide. I forget when. I know for sure Adelaide because that's during the off season, and during the off season I'm going to be desperate for content. So for sure I'm doing Adelaide, but Bathurst I'll. Ooh. Okay, it's the weekend of Vegas. It's also the weekend of Texas OU. So hopefully it's not in the middle of the afternoon here. So that may be a problem. How do I switch it to U.S. time? It says the Bathurst 1000 is Sunday, the 12th of October at 11:45 a.m. What time is that U.S. time? Don't know how else. What? They're near Sydney, right? I want to say. Melbourne, maybe. AM Australia time to U.S. Central time. $11:45 a.m. is 8 p.m. Oh, that's perfect. That's like as soon as the Xfinity race ends at Vegas, I think. So, yeah, if I'm not at the Vegas race, then yeah, let's do it. Let's do Bathurst. Yeah. Sydney. Okay, yeah. No, if I'm home, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do Bathurst. I can't guarantee you that I'll know what I'm talking about, but if someone gets wrecked, yeah, I'll get excited. If someone makes a cool pass, yeah, I'll get excited. For sure. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. But yeah, for sure, I'll do Adelaide, and I would say I'm 75% committed to Bathurst. Because that's fun. We made a deal. Denver, what's our deal? I don't remember making any deal. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. What deal? I don't remember signing up for anything. All right. What else? Xfinity was off, so we got nothing to talk about there. We already kind of talked about trucks. Chandler Smith got eliminated. That's kind of shocking. He was like 3 seed heading into the playoffs. He had all these playoff points. First round lined up really good for him because he's the defending winner at Bristol. New Hampshire's a short track, which he's great at. And Darlington he should have been good at, but wreck, mechanical problem, not good enough at New Hampshire. That was kind of a shocking elimination there. So the Truck Series, we could look at the Truck Series playoff grid. They reset. And this, oh my God. Have you guys looked at the Truck Series round of 8? Oh. Corey Heim should be extremely... He has a 1 race advantage already. He could clinch. I'm pretty sure he can clinch a championship 4 spot in this first race. But oh my goodness. Guys, look at this round of 8 for the Truck Series. Roval, Talladega, Martinsville. Could you imagine if this was the Xfinity round of 8? Because Xfinity round of 8 or Xfinity Martinsville, they always destroy each other. Always. It doesn't matter what's happening. They always just destroy each other. Talladega's a wild card and the Roval's a wild card. For trucks, it's probably 3 straight wild cards. This one might be a little bit less. Sometimes trucks keep their composure. This is... I'm telling you. If we do a bubble breakdown for the trucks here, oh man, Corey Heim's in. I think it's safe to say. Outside of that, no one is safe. I mean, look at this. Lane Riggs has a decent gap, and I think he could go win Martinsville. Heck, he could go win Talladega. It's gonna be tough for everyone else. Those last 2, I think Riggs is pretty safe, but if things go wrong, if the wild card strike Lane Riggs, he could be in a must-win. He could be at that bubble. Genuinely, anyone could make this Final 4. As I said, I'm not even going to show him. Corey Heim's in. Everyone else, Lord knows. Man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough to figure out who's going to make that Final 4. Really, really tough. So, yeah. So we got Lane Riggs, Hemrick, Majeski. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a brutal round of 8. Happy early birthday in between the lanes. Like it's very early birthday. Is the Truck Series race at Talladega, is that a Friday or are they doubling up on Saturday? Because I know historically they've doubled up on Saturday. No, it's a Friday. Ooh, it's a late Friday race. Oh, if we get a couple red flags, we're We're going against darkness. Oh, my Lord. That is the last thing we need, is controversy over darkness for a championship 4 spot. Ugh. That Talladega weekend this year is going to be, I think that's going to be an all-timer, and I don't know if that's positive or negative. Talladega decides the Final Four in all 3 series. I don't know how to feel about that. What time does the sun even set at Talladega? I think, okay, let me tell you, I lived in Birmingham, which is about an hour west of Talladega. The late fall and winter can be like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. It can be depressing because I kid you not, the sun sets like before 5 p.m. When the daylight savings hit and it's like the middle of winter, the sun literally sets before 5 p.m. Like, I would go to class at 3:30, get out of class at like 4:45, and the sun is almost down. Like, it's crazy. So Talladega's further east. It's because Alabama is the furthest east in the central time zone. Just the way like the literal sun sets and the way the clock is. So we're like Birmingham, Alabama, Talladega, Alabama is the same time zone as West Texas-ish. Obviously part of West Texas, like not the Panhandle, like El Paso is like mountain time, but a majority of Texas, hundreds and maybe even 1,000 miles away. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 1,000 miles away is also the same time zone. Like, that's a huge difference. So the sun sets really early, and now we've pushed this race back. Now, we're not going to be at that level. We're not going to be sun setting at 4:30 in the afternoon, but Alabama, technically it's Lincoln, Alabama. Lincoln, Alabama, October 17th. 6:08 is the sunset. So that's a little bit over 3 hours to get this race in. So that's a lot of time for a truck race, I will admit that, but boy, you get a couple red flags. You get a couple of lengthy red flags, and we are pushing it. Oh man, that's rough. That's really rough. That cup race better be a 1 p.m. start. If that cup race isn't a 1 p.m. start, we're going to have problems. We're going to have a lot of problems. That's going to just that's going to be the boiling point for the playoffs if it hasn't already. Okay, it's a 1 p.m. start. And it's on the big NBC. If that's a 1:27 start, like it's not a hard 1 p.m. start like it's been the last couple weeks. We've seen near 5-hour Talladega races before. This is not safe. That better be a hard 1 p.m. start. Because if this race gets crazy, it's the round of 8. I can't determine if I'm dreading this weekend or if I'm really excited to see the chaos it's going to produce. I really can't. I don't either, Micah. I don't either. Anyways, who's ready for Monday picks? Let's end this on a positive and make some Monday picks. We have a doubleheader, and I didn't tell you guys this. I have an announcement. It's usually a good thing. I will be at Kansas this weekend. Yay. So, I'll be bringing you out track content. Doesn't want to stay on the wall. I'll be bringing you out track content, some behind-the-scenes stuff, so it'll be a fun weekend. Going to cover the race for Go Full Throttle again. So, yeah, really looking forward to Kansas. Should be fun. I plan on getting there Friday when ARCA is going on. I think ARCA's there. I checked the schedule last week, and I'm pretty sure ARCA's there. But Xfinity and Cup, I will be there for sure. Everything's on Saturday, Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday, expect a bunch of stuff on the channel. I'll post some written content and everything. So yeah, be at Kansas, but let's look at the Xfinity Series entry list and let's make some Monday picks. So, significant entries. Let's see here. Brendan Queen, Butterbean, is in the 11 car again for the Xfinity Series. Raja Caruth in the Hendrick Motorsports number 17. Justin Bonsignor, I think I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I apologize, in the number 19 truck or car for Gibbs. Patrick Staropoli's in the 24 for Sam Hunt Racing. At the ripe young age of 125, is in the 35. Mason Massey's in the 45. Going on down the list, is also in the 91 car. Quite the talented 125-year-old. Cole Raz is in the 76. Let's hear it. Monday picks for Kansas Xfinity. Who is going to win Saturday afternoon? Will it be a playoff driver locking their way into the Elite Eight? Will it be a non-playoff driver? Who is it? Who's going to win? Xfinity at Kansas. Let's hear it. Ooh, in between the lanes, starting us off with a little bit of a curveball, Taylor Gray. That'd be a big one. Obviously, that would be his first career win, but hey, all right. Come on, people. I know you want to make your Monday picks. Xfinity. Jamie says Zilich. I'm assuming the Z is Zilich. I don't know. There's a Z in Retzloff. Are you going for Parker Retzloff? Maybe? Is that what the Z is in reference to? Or where else is there a Z? Are those the only two Z's in the Xfinity Series entry list? Yeah, they are. Zilich and Retzloff. Okay, Jamie said Zilich. I mean, let's be honest. We knew what Jamie meant. Anyone else? Xfinity? Micah says Zilich. A lot of Zilich picks. I'm going to go with a random one. I'm going to go really random. I have a little bit of logic behind it. Are you ready for this pick? I don't think you're ready for this Monday pick Xfinity. Look where the mouse is hovering. That's right. I'm going to go with Brandon Jones. The logic being is that he's really good at tracks where you have to run close to the wall. He's won at Darlington a couple times. I'm pretty sure he's won at Kansas a couple of times. I don't know why his name stuck out to me so much this week, but I'm pretty sure he's won multiple times at Kansas. Brandon Jones is my Monday pick for Xfinity. Plus, they finally won their first race since like April with Eric Almirola at Bristol. Like, maybe Joe Gibbs is back in the Xfinity Series. Let's see here. He does have multiple wins at Kansas. Yes. All right, yeah. I'm feeling great about this one. Brandon Jones, Xfinity pick for Kansas. It's a little bit out there. It's a little tiny bit out there, but he's won there twice. Really good at tracks where you got to run close to the wall like Darlington and Kansas. So, let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about the NASCAR Cup Series at Kansas. Who is everyone's pick? The only significant entry, I think it's only the 44 this week. Yeah, J.J. Yaley's in the 44. So let's go look at the sponsors. Everyone find your favorite driver. Everyone look. One's in the Kubota. Two's in Discount Tire. Beefaroo is on the 4 car. Dude, Beefaroo mascot. I hope I see that guy again. He was cool. Cheddar's is on the 8. Kelly Blue Book on the 9. Sports Clips on the 11. All you Denny Hamlin fans out there. Menards on the 12. Bass Pro Shops on the 19. Ream on the 20. 22 is Shell Pennzoil. 23 Air Force. That's such a beautiful race car. Cincinnati on the 24. What? Dude, I thought Cincinnati didn't exist anymore. Like with NASCAR, because They sponsored Kyle Larson in 2021, Bowman in 2020, and we haven't seen him since as a primary. So I guess Cincinnati's back with William Byron. New paint scheme for them. Okay. Tyler Reddick's in the Beast car. Remember when that paint scheme was like really, really cool? Well, now it's not anymore. Ally on the 48. Who else is it? 48's not even in the playoffs. Red Bull, 88's got Red Bull this week. That's it. I guess we're getting a one-off for the Freeway. Hispanic Heritage, 99. That's cool. Let's see here. Cup Series pick. So Denver says Creed to win Xfinity. Cameron says SVG for the... I'm assuming that's the Cup Series. But, well, he's only in the Cup Series. John Ray says Reddick. Okay. Obviously, he's a previous Kansas winner, but 2311 has struggled ever since the new Toyota body. Micah says Ross Chastain. Micah's reasoning being he's had speed at Kansas as of late, including a win last fall. Plus, he's below the cutoff line, and he sounded pretty confident yesterday in his interview. In Between the Lanes says, I want to go with Kyle Busch, but I'm taking Chase Briscoe. Okay. David says William Byron or Kyle Larson. Who is it, David? Byron or Larson? Pick one. I believe in you, David. Jamie says Logano in Kansas. Oh, man. That would be a surprise. Logano in the next gen at the mile and a half has not been great. I know he won Texas earlier this year, but he hasn't won a lot of laps at the mile and a halves. I know he had the Vegas win last fall. I'm really shooting myself in the foot bringing up all his mile and a half wins from like the last half year. Anywho, you guys get my point. He's not leading laps like Larson or Reddick or Bell or Hamlin or Byron. David's going with Byron. Okay. Anyone else? Monday picks for Kansas. One of the most exciting tracks on the schedule currently. Fun fact, Kyle Larson has not won since Kansas. And there's the pick. Denver says Kyle Larson this week, SVG next week. So we got a Larson, we got a Logano, we got a Byron, we got a Briscoe, we got a Chastain, we got a Reddick, we got an SVG. We got 7 different picks. This is like Daytona all over again. I don't think we're going to pick all 40 in the field, but we got a lot of different picks here. Kansas. Yeah, if Hamlin and Gibbs are battling for the win, that's going to be a hell of a story. I just picked a random winner for Xfinity, so I'm going to try to pick a little bit more normal of a pick. I tell you what. I'm going to go Christopher Bell. He's qualified really well. He's run decent at Kansas. Toyota's usually pretty good. I'm going to go Bell. So Jones and Xfinity, Bell and Cup. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Denver says Denny Hamlin and Gibbs wrecking each other at Kansas. That's your pick as well. I'm not going to quite predict that. If that happens, though, that's going to... Oh, my goodness. Well, all right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for showing up. As I said, I'll be at Kansas this weekend, so that'll be exciting. That'll be fun. One of the shorter trips for me, which is nice. Only a few hours up the road. I think it's like 6-7 hours. Not too bad at all. So, yeah, I'm really excited. It's close. It's easy, I hope. Weather looks good so far, so hoping for a nice, smooth pick. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. My Monday picks are Brandon Jones, Christopher Bell. Best of luck to you. Fantasy players, best of luck to you. Micah, hopefully you can get some redemption this week after the free fall late at New Hampshire.